Well, good afternoon, students. Today we have to discussing about that concept of Newton's second law. In last class, we discussed that Newton's first law. What is that definition of Newton's first law? Every body continues in its state of rest or uniform motion in straight line path if there is no force acts on it. If there is no force acts on it, you have to identify this point. If there is no force acts on it means external force value equal to 0. External force value equal to 0. That point we discussed in Newton's first law. But Newton's first law explained linear momentum, inertia, another one definition of force. Definition of force. These 3 points already we discussed in last class. Now we have to discussing about that Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Okay, Newton's second law can explain that the force definition. Okay, force definition, linear momentum explained by Newton's second law only. Next, Newton's second law can explain that inertia. Newton's second law explain that inertia. Due to that reason, Newton's second law is the base law. Newton's second law is the base law for Newton's first law and Newton's third law. Okay, I identify this point. Newton's second law can explain that definition of force and linear momentum. Next one, inertia. Okay, these 3 points explained with the help of Newton's second law. The help of Newton's second law. Due to that reason, Newton's second law is the base law for Newton's first and third law. Okay, now we have to discussing about that definition of Newton's second law. Okay, here the rate of change of momentum is directly proportionality to external force. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportionality to external force. Okay, here we can identify that F. External force represented by capital F. External force represented by capital F. Capital F directly proportionality to dP by dt. The rate of change of momentum. Here, linear momentum changes with respect to time is directly proportionality to external force. We have to identify this point. Okay, here consider that position of an object at initial point. Okay, here this position represents initial point. Okay, after t time, its position reaches point B. Okay, na? Understood? Okay, initial linear momentum T1, final linear momentum T2. Okay, final linear momentum T2. Here we have to identify one small point. One external cause is required to change the position. Yes or no? One external cause required to change the position. One external cause required to change the motion. Yes or no? What is that external cause? External cause nothing but force in this case. Okay, just identify force. Okay, force represented capital F. Here, external cause is used to change the motion. What is the initial velocity of the body? We have to represent initial velocity u. And here this external cause can increase that velocity, after t time. What is that final velocity? Final velocity represented capital B. Now tell me that initial linear momentum, in this case mass of the body constant. Okay, mass of the body constant. Now tell me that linear momentum, what is the formula for linear momentum? Linear momentum equal to mass into velocity. Okay, mass into initial velocity. Mass into initial velocity. Right here, m into u. Okay, after t time, what is that final momentum of the body at point B? T2 equal to mass into final velocity. Okay, just identify here. So here linear momentum changes due to external force. Due to external force with respect to time. Okay, na? Are you understood? So just we can identify this point. Now here Newton's second law explained this point. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportionality to external force only. If rate of change of momentum increasing, external force increase. Okay, we have to apply that external force. We can increase for more rate of change of momentum. Understood this point? For more rate of change of momentum, we have to increase that external force. Okay, just identify this point. Now, we have to remove this directly proportionality symbol. We have to remove this directly proportionality symbol. Then we can add one proportionality constant. Just identify F is equal to, okay, F is equal to K into dP by dt. Okay, F is equal to K into dP by dt. Here, K represents dielectric medium or medium. What are the medium we have to consider during the motion? We have to consider that medium constant. That medium constant 1. Okay, here A medium constant by how much? K equal to 1. We have to substitute here F is equal to dP by dt. F is equal to dP by dt. dP nothing but change in momentum. Change in momentum means final momentum minus initial momentum divided by time. Okay, final momentum minus initial momentum. Just we have to identify that formula T2 minus T1 divided by T. External force is equal to change in momentum divided by time. So this point explained by Newton's second law. Understood? So actual definition of Newton's second law, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportionality to external force. Understood? This point is very, very important. But Newton's second law explained that definition of force. What is that formula for force? What is the formula for force? Formula for force F is equal to mass into acceleration. F is equal to mass into acceleration. We have to derive that formula for force. Okay, just identify this condition. Okay, what is that Newton's second law? Newton's second law is represent the rate of change of momentum is called as external force. Right here, P2 minus P1 divided by time. P2 minus P1 divided by time. So that is equal to P2 value how much? MV minus MU divided by small t. Okay, now we have to common that mass. So M of V minus U divided by T. Okay, just identify this point. Here V minus U divided by T. Already this point we discussed in motion concept. The rate of change of velocity. The rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration. Right here point, since acceleration equal to V minus U divided by T. Substitute here F is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, which law explained the definition of force? So here, so second law explained the definition of force. The formula for force F is equal to mass into acceleration. So here Newton's second law can explain that point, external force is equal to the product of mass and acceleration. the product of mass and acceleration. Because of that reason, Newton's second law is the base law for Newton's first and third law. Okay, understood? Oh, we have to observe that few seconds on the board. Next, we can continue the class. Okay, students, understood this point. Now we have to continue our class. Here, Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Okay, Newton's second law explain that external force is directly proportionality to rate of change of momentum. Okay, condition 1. In examination, they will ask that point. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportionality to external force. This is called as Newton's second law. But Newton's second law can explain first one, definition of force. Definition of force. Next one, formula derived by Newton's. Here formula derived by Newton's second law. What is that formula? F is equal to mass into acceleration. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Next one, Newton's second law explained that linear momentum. Linear momentum. Linear momentum denoted by the letter P. P equal to mass into velocity. Okay, so just identify this point. Linear momentum P equal to mass into velocity. Okay, so already I explained that Newton's second law derived that formula F is equal to mass into acceleration. Just identify that F is equal to, so d by dt of P, that is equal to P2 minus P1 divided by T, that is equal to M into V minus U divided by T. V minus U by T is represent acceleration. Just identify this point. So here rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration. Now here represent that point V minus U divided by T, acceleration. F is equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, this formula derived by Newton's second law. But here we want to derive this formula for linear momentum. Okay, we want to derive this linear momentum formula. How to derive? Just to identify that Newton's first law explained that point, external force is acting on the body is equal to 0. Yes or no? So here we can just identify if a body is at rest. If a body is at rest on a horizontal surface. If body is at rest on a horizontal surface, what is the external force value? What is the external force value? External force value equal to 0. Yes or no? External force value equal to 0. Or if a body is moving with constant velocity. If a body is moving with constant velocity. Okay, so here just identify. Then external force value how much? External force. External force value equal to 0. Okay, already I explained these 2 points. If a body is at rest, then body experiences that external force equal to 0. Here body is moving with a constant velocity, then body experiences external force value equal to 0. Okay, understood this point? We have to observe these 2 conditions. Okay, so in these 2 conditions, which one is constant? External force is equal to constant, that value equal to 0. So Newton's second law explained this point. External force equal to the rate of change of linear momentum. External force equal to the rate of change of linear momentum. Just identify this point. Okay, so here if external force equal to 0, then rate of change of momentum equal to how much? If external force equal to 0, then rate of change of momentum equal to how much? Then rate of change of momentum dp by dt equal to 0. Yes or no? The rate of change of linear momentum equal to 0. Okay, so just identify here one logical mathematical condition. Already I explained these three formulas for you. D by dx of constant equal to 0. D by dx of x equal to 1. D by dx of x power n equal to n into x power n minus 1. Three formulas very important for explaining that physical conditions. Okay, so these formulas repeatedly we have to observe in our physics problems. So note down these three formulas. First formula d by dx of constant equal to 0. Second formula d by dx of x equal to 1. Third one d by dx of x power n equal to n into x power n minus 1. Understood? So just identify these three formulas. Already I explained these three formulas in motion concept. During explanation time, I used that slope formula. The rate of change of displacement is called as velocity. The rate of change of velocity is called as acceleration. Okay, let me explain these three formulas during explanation of that speed and velocity. Speed and velocity and acceleration. Okay, are you identify this point? So now just identify here, if external force equal to 0, then rate of change of momentum is also 0 only. Okay, now we have to say d by dx of constant equal to 0, d by dt of p equal to 0. Here linear momentum equal to constant. Then only that rate of change of linear momentum value equal to 0. Understood? Here dp by dt equal to 0, then linear momentum equal to constant. Linear momentum equal to constant. Understood? Okay. Are you identify this point? So linear momentum equal to constant. Here p value equal to constant. This point is very important point. Here just observe these two conditions. What is that linear momentum of a first body? Your body is at rest on horizontal surface. What is that linear momentum? P equal to mass into velocity. What is the initial velocity? Your velocity of a body 0. What is the reason? Body is at rest. Then we have to consider that velocity equal to 0. Substitute that value. M into 0, that is equal to how much? 0. Okay, linear momentum value equal to 0 when body is at rest on horizontal surface. Yes or no? So that linear momentum constant. That linear momentum constant. What is that linear momentum value? 0. Okay, next one. In the second condition, body is moving with a constant velocity. Body is moving with a constant velocity. Then linear momentum equal to how much? Equal to mass into velocity. Velocity constant. Velocity never changes. Velocity fixed for that condition. Okay, mass is also constant. The product of mass and velocity is constant. Okay, so P equal to mv. So right here, momentum, linear momentum P equal to mass into velocity, that is equal to constant. Understood this point? Who explained that point? Newton's second law explained that point. Okay, so here, so Newton's second law explained that linear momentum. Newton's second law explained that force definition and formula for force. Okay, understood. So few seconds we have to observe on the board. Next, we can continue our class. Okay, students. So almost we discussed that point. Newton's second law explained that definition of force, and Newton's second law is used to derive that force formula. Okay, and Newton's second law is used to explain that linear momentum. Explain that linear momentum, and it is used to derive that formula for linear momentum. These points are very important. Next one, Newton first law explained the definition of force, linear momentum, and inertia. But Newton's second law can explain that change in momentum. Newton's second law can explain that change in momentum and impulse. Change in momentum and impulse. Okay, so just identify this difference. Okay, in Newton first law, just identify this point. External force equal to 0. Okay, external force acts on the body equal to 0. But in Newton's second law, external force not equal to 0. Okay, external force not equal to 0. When external force is acting on the body along horizontal direction. Okay, here velocity changes. Which one changes? Velocity changes from initial point to final point. Then only that body is getting acceleration. Okay, but here velocity constant. Velocity constant. Okay, so 0 or fixed value. 0 or fixed any value. Maybe we have to represent fixed value, maybe 2 meter per second. 2 meter per second, 3 meter per second, or n meter per second. It is one fixed value. Okay, body is moving with the constant velocity, or body is at rest on horizontal. But here, velocity is not constant. Velocity not equal to 0. Velocity not equal to 0. But here, velocity variable. This point is very important. In Newton first law, we consider that velocity constant, velocity equal to 0. Okay, but here velocity not equal to 0. Velocity not equal to 0. Velocity equal to variable quantity. It's not a constant. It's not a fixed quantity. Understood? Now here at initial point, here one external force acts on the body. Its initial velocity u. Its initial velocity u. Okay, and then body can experience that external force. Due to that reason, its motion changes. Its velocity increases. Its velocity increases. What is that final velocity? What is that final velocity? Final velocity of the body? V. Okay, after t time, its final velocity of the body is V, capital V. Understood? Okay. If you have any doubt, so just identify this point. External force acts on the body, then its initial velocity changes to V after t time. Now, Newton's second law explains that force equal to final momentum P2 minus P1. Okay, P2 minus P1 divided by P. Yes or no? Just identify this point. What is that initial momentum? P1 equal to mu. Okay, final momentum P2 equal to mv. Understood? Okay, initial linear momentum mu, final linear momentum P2 equal to mv. Just observe here, P2 minus P1 equal to force into time. Okay, the change in momentum. The change in momentum equal to force into time. Understood? Okay, so that is equal to impulse. Okay, that is equal to impulse. Impulse equal to the product of force and time. Impulse equal to the product of force and time. That is equal to change in momentum. Okay, students, we have any doubt? But here, change in momentum. Change in momentum means difference of momentum. Difference of momentum into observation point. Okay, difference of momentum of a body at two observation points. Okay, so what is that initial momentum? mu. What is that final momentum? mv minus mu. mv minus mu. Here, just identify that change in momentum. Change in momentum equal to P2 minus P1. Okay, so that is equal to how much? mv minus mu. Understood? Okay, change in momentum value mv minus mu. We have to find the change in momentum at two different points. Final momentum minus initial momentum. mv minus mu. Next one, impulse definition. The product of force and time is called as impulse. That impulse equal to change in momentum also. Okay, na? Understood? We have to concentrate few seconds. Next, we can discussing about that impulse depending factors. Okay. And then time. Okay, students, now just observe here. What is the definition of impulse? Here, okay, here just identify that definition of impulse. The product of force and time is called as a impulse. It is mathematical definition. What is that actual definition of impulse? Largest effective force is getting in short interval of time. You have to get largest effective force getting in a short interval of time is called as impulse. How to explain that point on time? We have to observe here. With the help of Newton's second law, we have to explain this point. Okay, F is equal to dP divided by dt. Rate of change of momentum is equal to external force. Here, change in momentum constant. Which one constant? Change in momentum constant. Then we have to give the relation between force and the time. We have to give the relation between force and the time. Just identify. Force inversely proportionality to dt. Which one constant? dP constant. Here, change in momentum, dP equal to constant value. Okay, change in momentum value constant. Here, just identify that if time interval decrease, then external force effect increase. External force effect increase. Best example, karate fighter. Karate fighter using the kick in short interval of time. How like means within a fraction of second he kicked that another person. Yes or no? Then that person is getting more effect due to external force. Okay, so I explained that point for you. Large amount of effective force acts on the body in short interval of time. Okay, your applying force is same only, but you have to decrease the time. You have to decrease the time. Okay, are you identify this point? Next one, a cricket player also, a batsman. Okay, so Sachin Tendulkar or Sehwag. So here, just identify Tendulkar. Tendulkar is hit the ball in a short interval of time. Okay, in short interval of time, Dravid can play very slowly. He's a batsman. Slowly he have to attacking that ball. Okay, he takes time more. It takes more time because of that reason that ball can experience less amount of effective force. But Tendulkar can hit that ball in a short interval of time. Then that ball can experience a large amount of effective force. Then it reaches to boundary. Sam, you have to identify this example. Okay, time will reduce force. Time will reduce force. Increase. Effective force increase. Effective force increase. Okay, understood. So we have to consider that condition. One more example we have to discuss. What is that example? Two vehicles. Two vehicles are moving in opposite direction. Just identify this point. Here, it is one vehicle. Okay, so this one is another vehicle. First, we have to concentrate on the board. And next one, it is one vehicle. Second condition, example one. Next example two. Okay, another vehicle, second vehicle. First one, second one. So here, first vehicle moving with velocity v is equal to 60 km/h. Okay, v1. Another vehicle is also moving with velocity 50 km/h. 50 km/h. Okay, just identify both are moving in same direction. Here, first vehicle velocity more than to second velocity of the vehicle. Then it reaches to second vehicle. Okay, it hit that second vehicle. Yes or no? At the time you have to identify the damage. You have to identify the damage. Okay, that vehicle is experienced less amount of effective force for long time. Okay, there we have to identify it takes the two vehicles more time for collision. Yes or no? But here we can identify that point. Both the vehicles are moving in opposite direction. Both the vehicles are moving in opposite direction. Just identify V1 is equal to 60 kilometer per hour. And V2 how much? V2 we have to represent 80 kilometer per hour. Okay, here within a short time interval, both are collide to each other. Then we have to get a large amount of effective force. Then we have to get large amount of effective force between these vehicles. What is the reason means here time interval is very small. Time value T2 value compared to T1 is very small one. Okay, it is very small. Identify this point. Okay, your time interval is very small. Due to that reason, both the vehicles are getting large amount of damage in a short interval of time. Okay, we have to reduce that time interval, then we can get that large amount of effective force. Okay, this is called as impulse. This is called as a impulse. Okay, students, understood. Next, one more example I can give for you. Okay, just concentrate on the board. Okay, next example. It is one glass plate. It is one glass plate. Okay, now it is one glass plate. Now we have to take one body. We have to take one body. It is an iron body. We have to take that iron body from certain height to surface of the body. Then we can keep that body on glass plate. We cannot get the damage. Okay, here glass plate cannot get the damage. What is the reason? We have to take more time. But gravity is constant. Gravity value how much? Fg equal to mg. It is equal to weight of the body. But we have to take more time. We can slowly move that body in downward direction. Then it reaches the surface of glass plate. Then we have to leave that body. Okay, without damage we can get on the glass plate. But suddenly we have to release that body. Okay, so we have to release that body. It takes less time. So no, it takes less time to reach the glass plate. Then glass plate break into different and break into 2 or 3 parts. So no, n number of parts. Okay, now we have to identify this point. What is the reason means in this condition? Okay, so second condition, time is very small. In the first condition, we have to take more time. The second condition, we have to take less time. Then, so the glass plate break into 2 or more parts. Okay, so it is one more example. Okay, now this all are example for impulse. So what is the definition of impulse? A large amount of effective force is getting in short interval of time. It's called as a impulse. Okay, in the first condition, a cricket player is hitting the ball in short interval of time, then it reaches to boundary. Okay, so we have to take a long time means the ball cannot reach the ground. Okay, so next one, karate master. Karate master is kicking the another person in short interval of time. Then another person is getting a large amount of effective force. Okay, here we have to identify one body released from certain height on the glass plate. Okay, then immediately the glass plate break into different parts. Okay, so then we have to identify that point. And here we consider that the time is very small. So slowly we have to keep that object on that ground, object on that so surface of glass that glass plate cannot break. What is the reason? Means in both the condition force is constant. In both the condition force is constant, but effect is different. Okay, force is constant, effect of force is different. Okay, so we have to take less time, effect of force more. We have to take more time, effect of force less. So we have to give that relation F inversely proportionality to T. Okay, this point is very, very important point. Understood? Okay, next. Next one. Next we have to observe here. F equal to mass into acceleration. Okay, Newton's second law explain this formula for force. F is equal to mass into acceleration, but mass constant. Some mass constant. F directly proportionality to acceleration. F directly proportionality to acceleration. Okay, another relation we have to identify that. Okay, here F constant. Which one constant? External force constant. What is the relation between mass and acceleration? What is the relation between mass and acceleration? Right? Mass into acceleration equal to constant. Very important point, Nana. Mass into acceleration equal to constant. You have to give the relation between mass and acceleration. So what is that relation? A, okay, equal to constant divided by mass. Okay, divided by mass. Here we have to remove this equal to, add one proportionality symbol. A inversely proportionality to mass. Okay, remove that equal to and constant. Then add one proportionality symbol. A inversely proportionality to mass. A inversely proportionality to mass. Just identify that point. Acceleration inversely proportionality to mass. Okay, this condition only applicable along horizontal direction. This condition is not applicable in vertically downward direction or vertically upward direction. Okay, this condition only applicable along horizontal direction. Okay, just identify this condition. Okay, acceleration inversely proportionality to mass. In which direction it is applicable? Along horizontal direction. Consider mass. Mass 20 kg. How much? 20 kg. Okay, another mass of the object we have to consider. Here mass of the body is 50 kg. Just identify these 2 points. Okay, here external force constant. External force constant. Here external force F is equal to 100 in newtons. Okay, external force equal to 100 newtons. But here external force we have to consider 200 newton. Then which body can experience more acceleration? Which body can experience more acceleration? Here force constant. Already we discussed this point. Force constant. Okay, but acceleration inversely proportionality to mass. If mass increasing, acceleration. If mass increasing, acceleration decrease. When force equal to constant. And force equal to constant. This point is very, very important. Okay, if mass increasing, then acceleration decrease. If mass decreasing, then acceleration increase. Which one is getting more acceleration? Smaller body can experience a larger acceleration. Yes or no? In these two bodies, which one is smaller body, which one is bigger one? So 50 kg is a more mass, okay, compared to 20 kg body. Then this body is getting acceleration A1, this body is getting acceleration A2, A1 greater than A2. A1 greater than A2. Understood? Okay, so we have to find out that value. We have to find out that value. What is the formula for force? F is equal to mass into acceleration. But acceleration equal to force divided by mass. Force divided by mass. Force value how much? 100. Force value 100. Mass 20. So substitute 0, 0 get cancelled to 1 just to 5 just. That is equal to how much? 5 meter per second square. Okay, in first condition, we got acceleration 5 meter per second square. But in second condition, we have to identify. In second condition, we have to identify. Okay, so A2 equal to F2 divided by, sorry, F divided by M. Okay, F value how much? 200. 200 divided by 50. 0, 0 get cancelled, 5 1 just, 5 4 just. That is equal to how much? 4 meter per second square. Okay, 5 meter per second square more than to 4 meter per second square. Understood? Therefore, we have to identify A1 greater than A2. Okay, here we have to apply that relation A inversely proportionality to mass of an object. When force equal to constant. Otherwise, this relation is not applicable. Okay, along the horizontal direction, acceleration inversely proportionality to mass and force equal to constant. Okay, you have any doubt? So a few seconds we can observe that board. Next we can discussing that acceleration in vertically downward direction. Okay. అయిపోయిందన్న టైం ఎంత అయింది 5 minutes 3 5 అయిందా okay students, now I can give one small work for you. We have to release two different mass of an object. We have to release two different mass of an object, certain height from the ground. Then you can observe here which one can reach to ground first. Okay, this is a homework for you. You have to do this activity. So in these two bodies, which one reach to the ground? We can identify smaller one or bigger one. Smaller one or a bigger one we have to identify. Okay, so here relation already I given along horizontal direction. Acceleration inversely proportionality to mass. Okay, our students, okay, explain this point. What is that? Mass increasing, acceleration increase. So just identify that. So smaller one is getting larger acceleration, or bigger one is getting so smaller acceleration. You are identify this relation means it is wrong only. Don't follow this relation. Okay, in vertical direction this relation is not applicable. Okay, along horizontal direction only it is applicable. Okay, so in vertical direction we have to discuss one more point. So in vertical direction, acceleration is independent on mass of the body. Acceleration independent on mass of the body. You can do this activity in your home. You can identify which body can reach the ground first, smaller one or bigger one. Okay, it is the homework for you. Okay, students.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.